Hey friends of YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Samurai Monkey 42, where I review Japanese antiques from World War II. And I wanted to show you guys another Type 95 Japanese NCO sword. And I'm going to be just pointing out a few things about this Japanese sword that you guys are seeing right now. So this is a late produced NCO sword, and the reason is because of the iron fuchi and the iron suba. So around this time, the Japanese were running out of brass and copper, so they replaced some of the fittings with iron. Uh, two things about this iron fuki is, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but the fuki it's cut uneven. I don't know if the Japanese did this intentionally, but one side is thicker than the other. So if you take a closer look, this side is thicker than this side here, and it could be because maybe the clip is here. So if they were to cut the fuki higher to the same level, it would have probably create maybe issues with the clip here. Let me know what you guys think. Another thing about the fuki is they were still actually doing the stamping, and I believe there's three marks here. This one in the center, here, and here, but it's just very faded. They were still trying to do the stamping, but it of course failed because iron is just so much harder than copper, so that didn't work out. And of course they replaced the suba, the brass suba, with this iron suba. There's a type that has a locking mechanism like the one that you're seeing right now here on the side, but they came up with another locking mechanism that is here in the center, and I'm gonna have a picture of that here. So there's actually two types of this iron fuki and suba sword. It's a screw that's made out of steel as well. It looks like it. There's a little bit of paint is still left on this NCO sword, but I can see it very well now with the flash. As I mentioned before in my videos, I can see so much better. I can see the paint so much better when I'm actually recording the video, but it's not very noticeable when I'm actually just looking at the sword with the naked eye. So it's very easy to see that there was some yellow paint here on the manukis, and you can see the silver paint here on the where the stingray should be, the stingray skin should be. So it's a lot more pronounced with the flash than without the flash. You can see this. There was a little bit of paint here still remaining on the manuki, and of course the production of the swords right at the very end wasn't very well, so some of the parts like the suka didn't hold the paint very well, and that's why the ones in good shape with the good paint are much more cited by collectors. It's very normal to see this type of flaking on the paint on this Japanese swords, especially around this area here where the ashes should be. Almost all this paint always comes off. Almost all the paint here is off from this type of swords, and you can see there's a little bit of paint missing, and even up to the very end of the productions of these swords, they implemented this end cap here, which is this is for when you place the sword on the ground. It doesn't go all the way because of this lip here. It's just easy to take out of the ground, I would say. rather than if you guys see in the copper handle, which I'm gonna have a picture here, they don't have this stand here for the ground. I'm gonna show you guys the blade, and the blade for this NCO sword it's in really good condition. So let me go ahead and open the sword now. So I'll have the sword open now, and the condition of the blade is really good. Still just has that very mirror-like effect, which is kind of hard to find on this Type 95 swords. And the number of production of this sword is 60,694. Someone asked me about the habakis, and the habaki for this machine-made blade swords doesn't have the little hole to retain the blade here, so it's just it runs all the way through. On this Type 95, it almost seems like there's a hamon line here, obviously a machine-made hamon line, but like I mentioned, the blade on this Type 95, it's in really good condition. Let me show you guys the other side. Also, the number of production matches the Scabbard, which is also 60,694. It doesn't have the toe character on the side, but none of the Scabbards do. Only the serial number of production for the sword. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a few things about the Type 95 Japanese sword. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and have a good night. Sayonara.